Take a look at the cover of the New York Post this morning. Eyes on the spies. And it's the Republicans' intention.
They want to attack the FBI. They want to attack the CIA. They want to attack the intel community. It never pays off for them. Long ago.
All right, that was this morning. The set of MSNBC's Morning Joe had a good laugh at the cover of the New York Post. Eyes on the spies. GOP vows House roundup of 51 Hunter Hushers, a.k.a. the retired members of the intelligence community that called the Hunter Biden laptop story Russian disinformation. The average American perhaps cares more about kitchen table issues than partisan investigations, says Morning Joe and his friends. Republicans have already promised to look into the Afghanistan withdrawal, Dr. Anthony Fauci, Hunter Biden's business dealings, and the raid on Mar-a-Lago, investigating the investigators. George Wilt's here, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist, NewsNation senior contributor. Do investigations into the other side ever sway the middle?
Of course they do. There was one called the Watergate investigation, which was an investigation largely by one party of another party. Investigations are part of the core congressional function of oversight. And when you're talking about, say, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse in pandemic relief, when you're talking about the misuse of emergency powers by the executive branch, that's why we have a Congress.
Fair point. Is the distrust of Washington by the American public and the expectation of the public that there is graft and abuse and distasteful behavior created a situation where you have to get to a really high bar before the American public is shocked?
I think so, but the first duty of Congress is not to look over its shoulder to see if the American people are watching. It's to do its job, and part of its job is oversight. Let's take for a moment the Hunter Biden computer that caused the hilarity on the show this morning. The members of the Morning Joe panel said the Republicans are in a bubble if they think the American people care about this. Well, leaving aside the hilarity of a gaggle of MSNBC contributors talking about someone else being in a bubble, the fact is, substitute the name for substitute Donald Trump Jr. for Hunter Biden. Do you think the Democrats would be indifferent to the fact that this may be substantial evidence on there that when the president said during the 2020 campaign, I have never talked to my son about his business dealings, that might not have been true? I think that's something the American people would find interesting, even around the kitchen table tonight in Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, it is certainly something that Democrats would have found interesting, did find interesting when they were in the House having very similar investigations. Mr. Will, it's always good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Glad to be with you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.